It should come as no surprise to my friends and viewers that trading card games have always had a very special place in my heart. In this series, both Raikourider and myself will be opening 24 packs or one box of a core Yu-Gi-Oh set. Every week we will add an additional core set to our collections, moving in chronological order. We will use these cards to create a deck and then face off against one another in a best 2 out of 3 match, with the winner receiving 2 prizes to upgrade their deck, while the loser receives 1. These prizes can range from wild cards, to sealed product, to starter decks, and more. Every card that has been released will be available to us at least once. However, we cannot rest on our laurels. Between the ever-evolving nature of the Forbidden and Limited list, the cards that we ourselves choose to banish into the Shadow Realm, and even the way the very rules of the game will change, will keep our decks and our duels fresh. This is yet another Yu-Gi-Oh! Progression. Okay, so that was a good episode last time. Unfortunately, I'm fully aware of the video issues, and hopefully we could get those resolved sometime soon. Once again, I definitely suggest checking out Rye's perspective for that one. But with all that said, we actually managed to pull it off, and we also got ourselves an interesting development here. And what I mean by that is, well, I'll explain that in just a moment, but first we're going to talk about Dark Crisis. This set came out in December of 2003. I'm sure everyone is aware of what set comes after this one, and trust me, I am excited for that one too, but we have to get through this first, and this set is still a good set to work with. So we're going to go through... I'm going to try to go through this a little quicker than usual, just because of the fact that I have seen that it takes quite a while to go through these a lot of times. So let's just go through a few of the key cards real quick. First off, for the short prints, Ojama Trio is a really good card for stun purposes. It allows us to put 3 tokens onto Rye's side of the field that he can't tribute, and if they're destroyed, he takes 300 points of damage. It's a good way to lock him out of playing multiple zones. And realistically, if we want to be a real troll, we could do this plus Ground Collapse to really shut him out. And honestly, that's really the only big one here. Falling Down is actually a pretty interesting card. It's a card that works well with the new Archfiend archetype that came out. You could target an opponent's monster, take control of it, and as long as you have an Archfiend monster, it works out. And during each of your opponent's standby phases, you take 800 damage. So basically, this is Snatch Steal with Archfiend support. The 800 life points is a bit tough, but it's a good card nonetheless, especially when you consider Pandemonium. Now, unfortunately, Pandemonium actually does not count with this, with Falling Down, but it works with all the Archfiends in that neither player will have to pay life points for their effects. And if you have an Archfiend monster destroyed and sent to the grave through a card effect, then that player can add an Archfiend from their deck to their hand that's a lower level. Archfiends in general have 2 really well-known traits to them. The first being that they all have life point maintenance costs, and the other is that they all have die roll based effects. Specifically, if you have an effect try to happen against you, you can roll a die and try to negate that effect. So, if we want to go Archfiend, we're really going to want to see these 2 cards especially. So scrolling quickly into the commons, Battle Footballer is a good 2100 defender. Pretty much is going to be an interesting card to have because it's going to be hard to get over. Ninken Dog is a good 1800 beater. We don't really have a whole lot of beaters, so that's going to be kind of helpful for us potentially. Scrolling through, Gyaju Gire Panda here is actually a really good card. It gains 500 attack for every monster your opponent controls, and it deals piercing damage if it attacks an opponent's defense monster. So this can get really big and really scary, and it's a 3-star monster, so it actually gets under Gravity Bind. Scrolling through a little bit more, we have some of the key Guardian cards, which the Guardians are a series of monsters that came out in this set as well, but for the most part, they're not really too worth noticing. Specifically, their gimmick is they can only summon to the field if you have their corresponding spell card in play. Which of these, Gravity Axe Growl is actually a pretty decent one because it gives a pretty good attack boost. But aside from that, the rest of them are kind of meh. Final Attack Orders and Staunch Defender are some really good trap cards. If we pull them, we could explain that later. They have the rest of the Dark Scorpions in here, some of the Dark Scorpions in here as well, which, once again, we're not really going to care about those if we can avoid... We don't need to play them. Iron Blacksmith Kotetsu, I could see this card being something Rai cares about because this lets him search for an equip spell. And honestly, most of the Archfiends themselves are decent, but hopefully we don't have to play them. I would prefer not to play them, personally, unless we hit Pandemonium in multiple copies. Zolga's actually an interesting card. It's 1700 on a 4-star, which is pretty decent, but on top of that, if it's tributed for a tribute monster, then the owner of this card gains 2,000 life points. Kind of neat, it's kind of a basic ability, but it's pretty nice nonetheless. Going through the other comments here, Drag Down to the Grave's kind of nice. It lets us both look at our opponent's hands, discard a card, and then we draw a card. Pretty good card. It's good for info, basically. You go -1, but info is pretty nice. And then scrolling through here, Final Countdown is kind of a gimmick, but hey, if you can stall out long enough, it's worth it. And finally, we have Sakuretsu Armor, and this is the key common we want to see. It's a battle trap. If your opponent's monster declares an attack, you target that monster and destroy it. 1-for-1, it's really good removal. And we do have Mask of Darkness, so if we want, we can retrieve those back. So let's scroll back up here into the rares. Here we go. And some of the rares are kind of decent. Skill Drain is a big one. You pay 1,000 life points, and all monsters on the field have their effects negated. It's a really good card. It's a good card to shut down certain powerful effects, and it's a good way to shut down monsters with negative effects. However, I have to point out that this does not actually work well with Archfiends, because Archfiends' maintenance costs are not considered an effect. So even if Skill Drain is up, you pay their life point cost, even though you don't have any other benefits, which is kind of troubling. So we have to keep that in mind as well. Archfiend Soldier is a good 1900 attacker. Mephis, the Infernal General, is a monster with piercing, and it also acts as Robin Goblin if it deals damage, which is kind of nice. Tsukiyomi is definitely the best rare of the set. This one lets you flip a monster face down, whenever it's summoned, and it gets bounced to the hand. This card, along with Thousand Eyes Restrict, is part of the reason why people love/hate the GOAT format so much. So scrolling back down, we're going to check out the super rares. And honestly, there are only 2 super rares here that we really want to see. The first is Different Dimension Warrior Lady here. She can battle, and if she battles a monster, you could choose to banish both herself and that monster. So it's pretty good removal, and it's a good monster to crash into a big guy. And the other card is Butterfly Dagger Elma. This is one of the few Guardian cards that we really want to see, because this card gives the monster that's equipped to it 300 attack, but that's not a big deal. The big deal is, when this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard while equipped, you can return it back to your hand. There are a few very degenerate combos that can be used with this, and while we don't have the cards for them right now, if we can pull them in wild cards, then this can definitely make for some interesting bullshit. So, scrolling up into the ultra rare slot now. Again, there aren't really a whole lot that we want to see. Cost down is kind of nice because you could discard a card, make all monsters in your hand 2 stars lower. But for the most part, that's kind of meh. Blast Bit held by a tribute is actually a nice card. If your opponent attacks with a tribute summon monster, then you could activate this card to destroy all monsters your opponent controls and deal 1,000 damage to their life points. Anyone who knows this card probably remembers this from the anime when Ishizu had this and tried to use it against Seto Kaiba's Obelisk. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for her, but hey, it might work for us here. And honestly, the only other ultra rare to pay attention to is Reflect Bounder. And this is actually a good card in general, not only because of it being a light, but also before damage calculation if it's attacked, and it's in attack mode, then you deal damage to your opponent equal to that monster's attack, and then afterwards this card gets destroyed. So, unfortunately, if your opponent has a weak monster, they can actually crash it into Reflect Bounder and pop this card automatically, but it's still a good effect otherwise. And as for secret rares, we actually have two good ones. Vampire Lord is a monster that can be tribute summoned with one tribute, or there's a card we could get later on that'll help us get this out for free. And if it deals damage to your opponent's life points, then you declare a type of card, monster, spell, or trap, and your opponent has to send one from their deck to the graveyard of that type. And if this card is destroyed and sent to your graveyard by an opponent's card effect, you actually get to special summon this back from the graveyard. So that's kind of nice. So they have to beat over it by battle. And the other card here is Judgment of Anubis, which is also a good card, and one that you might remember from Odeon. If your opponent activates a spell that would destroy a spell or trap you on the field, you could discard a card, negate that card, and then if you do, you could destroy a face-up monster your opponent controls, and then deal damage to your opponent's life points equal to the destroyed monster's attack. This is really good. You could even activate this card on your own card that would destroy a spell or trap. Now, granted, that is a very heavy cost, but if you were to do that, but if you need that finishing game, then that's all you need. Now, before we go into the next point, we're going to quickly discuss the November list. This was the new list that came out the month before this released. And really, there's not much change here. The only difference is Breaker the Magical Warrior and Tribe Infecting Virus both go to 1. We only have one Tribe Infecting Virus anyway. We don't have a Breaker, so that's not a big deal for us. But now we're going to come to the next point, which is our new rule set. We're going to have a set of new rules from this set through the end of Solo the Duelist, and we're introducing the Deck Masters, baby. I have a small video here that'll help explain what this is. The following segment will explain how the Deckmaster system will be applied in the yet another Yu-Gi-Oh! Progression series. This set of rules will be in effect from Dark Crisis through Solo the Duelist. Both players will start with a deck of 41 cards, at least, and at the start of each match will banish one monster of their deck face up to act as their Deckmaster. Once per duel during their turn, if they can normal summon or set a monster, they can choose to normal summon their Deckmaster to the field in attack mode. However, after this has occurred the first time around, if the monster is destroyed and sent to the graveyard or banished, then the player who owned that Deckmaster will take 4,000 points of damage. This damage cannot be chained to, nor can it be negated or redirected. The only exception is if the Deckmaster is utilized as material for his fusion monster, in which case the fusion monster will be placed onto the field and act as the new Deckmaster for that player. In the very rare opportunity that both players' Deckmasters are used as material for a monster, then the new fusion monster will act as the Deckmaster for both players, which means that if the monster is destroyed and sent to the graveyard or banished, then both players will suffer the 4,000 point penalty, regardless of who controlled it. In addition, there are a few extra rules that will be in place for these monsters. First, the monster chosen for the Deckmaster has to be able to be normal summoned or set, meaning no Nomi or semi-Nomi monsters can be selected. Second, there can only be one copy of that monster in your deck to be chosen as a Deckmaster. And finally, there are a small number of monsters that are banned from being chosen as a Deckmaster entirely. These monsters are banned due to their effects being balanced out by certain restrictions that, as a Deckmaster, they are no longer subject to. With that in mind, we hope you enjoy this extra rule set. Okay, so that's our rule set, and we are going to add one extra rule to this as well that we discussed slightly after that was recorded, and that is we're only going to be allowed to have the same monster for our Deckmaster one time in a duel. Which means that whatever monster I pick this time around, I'm not going to be able to pick any other time that we have this system in place. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started. So 24 packs of Dark Crisis. Let's hope for some good cards. And there we go. Took a little bit for it to load. Okay, so Gyaku Jirei Panda. Despair from the Dark. That's actually a good card I forgot to talk about. Well, or rather I figured I'd be able to talk about here. If it's discarded from your hand to the grave by a card effect, I believe it's an opponent's card effect specifically, then, let's see. Then you get this special, yeah, if it's discarded from your hand or deck to your graveyard by an opponent's card effect, you get special summon this card. This is actually a pretty good anti-zombie lord, this is actually a good anti-zombie lord measure. And Archfiends Soldier is a good card for the sake of having a 1900 beater, so let's see what we get hit now. Okay, second pack, our first Sakuretsu armor. That's a good sign, and a second Archfiend Soldier too, so that's really helpful for us. Spell reproduction's kinda neat, but it's a bit costly. You discard 2 spell cards, and then add a spell from your graveyard to your hand. If we really need a spell card back for any reason, I guess we could pull that off, but it's definitely a bit of a heavy cost. Okay, I did not expect to see that. So cost down as our first holo. I mean, it's not horrible, and I guess if I can find some level 6 monsters to work with, that could be decent, but I don't know. At least we have an Iron Blacksmith Kotetsu too, and a Staunch Defender. Okay, so I can actually talk about this card. So Staunch Defender is actually a really neat card. You can only activate it when your opponent declares an attack. You pick one monster you have that's face up on your field. During this turn, your opponent can only pick that monster as an attack target, and they have to attack with every monster they have that's face up. So what that means is, if they have a bunch of monsters and I have some big body on the field, I can make it to where they have to ram into that monster over and over, which is really nice. So I feel like it might be a nice little trick play to pull on Rai at one point or another, because he probably won't expect that if I have some kind of really big defender on the field. Okay, so took a few more packs to get anything really good, but we actually got a few really good cards here. So first off, Really Eternal Rest. This is basically the same thing as Eternal Rest, but it's a trap card, which means that we can actually play this on Rai's turn the minute he equips it with something, as opposed to having to wait a turn of getting our face punched in. And second, we have Tsukiyomi, which is a really good card, and hopefully we can hit more than one copy of this. Alright, well, there's another Ojama Trio, which is nice. And we actually got another Pandemonium, which is kind of nice as well. And we also hit an Outstanding Dog Maron, and this is actually an underrated card. Its stats are kind of weak, but its effect is that when it's sent to your graveyard, you add it to your deck and shuffle it. So it doesn't matter where you get this sent to the graveyard from. So you could just keep using this to keep your deck safe if you end up sending it to the graveyard from battle, or you discard it from hand size. It's actually a pretty good card. That being said, we're about halfway through now, and we really haven't seen a whole lot of great stuff yet. Hopefully it's going to be backloaded. And just like that, the monkey's paw curls. Because we not only get a holo, but it's one that we can't possibly use. Mirage Knight. See, the reason this is a bad card is because in order to use this card, you have to create Dark Flare Knight, which in and of itself is also a super, which requires Dark Magician and Flame Swordsman as its materials. So you have to have a high level monster and a fusion monster to fuse into a weaker monster, then have that monster destroyed in battle to bring this card out. So yeah, this means jump through a bunch of hoops. And on top of that, yeah, it gets the power of gaining the opponent's attack when it attacks a monster. But here's the fun part. During the end phase of the turn this card battles, it gets banished. So, yeah, it lasts all of one fight, and that's it. So all the hoops you have to jump through for this piece of shit, you get one fight, and that's it. So, unfortunately, that was a waste of a super rare for us, but Ojama Trio is nice, Drag Down to the Grave is nice, and who knows, even Final Countdown might be nice. Let's see what the next pack's gonna have. Please let us have something decent to work with here. Any second now, come on. There we go, come on, let's see. And we hit another super rare, it's Spell Vanishing, oof. Let me remember what exactly this one does, because I'm trying to... I know it's spell counter related. Discard 2 cards from your hand, negate the activation of a spell and destroy it. Also look at your opponent's hand and deck, and if you find any spells of the same name as a destroyed spell card, send them all to the grave. Oh, that's actually not that bad. I mean, granted, discarding 2 cards sucks, but that's actually not as horrid as I thought it was. So you know what? Who knows? Maybe that might actually be something to side deck. Okay, so that took way longer than I thought it would, but we finally hit a skill drain. Thank God. I was hoping we'd at least see one. Second Panda too, which is really nice, but for the most part, it looks like that's all for that set, for that pack. Let's see the next one. Ooh, second Tsukiyomi and a third Pandemonium. Nice. We might actually be able to check out and see what we've got for our Archfiends now. And an Incandescent Ordeal. I was hoping... that might actually be a decent backup option for us. Okay, there's our third Tsukiyomi, so that's a nice sign. And really, that's about it here. But we have 4 more packs. Hopefully, we can hit something. 22 packs in, and we finally see our second Sakuretsu armor. Thank God, because if we were gonna go out without that, I would have been so upset. But hopefully we can hit the third one in these next 2 packs. Flip them up, and oh my God, are you shitting me? Okay, so we hit a second skill drain, which is nice, but a goddamn Berserk Dragon? God damn it, this is something that can only be summoned using Deal with Dark Ruler, and I'm not even sure if we can summon this in general. I mean, I can look and see, because that requires Deal with Dark Ruler, so I guess we can at least find out what that card is. Okay, so maybe this isn't as bad of a card as I thought then. If a level 8 or higher monster under your control was sent to the graveyard this turn, special summon a Berserk Dragon from your hand or deck. That's actually not that bad, because depending on what level we pick our deck master as, that actually might not be that hard to pull off. I mean, granted, it's still going to be really difficult, but that's actually not as horrible as I thought it was. I had just assumed that Deal with Dark Ruler was going to require some, like, specific monster to set it off, because I remember this was the card from the Big Bad, Big 5, so... Alright, that's not too bad. Alright, so this is our last pack. Please, let us hit something good. Third Sakuretsu. I want to hit, honestly, I want to hit Elma. I want to hit Butterfly Dagger Elma, please? What did we get? A whole lot of crap. But we did get a third Panda, and we got a Cyber Raider, which I guess we could discuss that if I put that in the deck. But, alright, we'll go into deck edit and see what we can come up with. Alright, so here's the deck we're bringing to today's duel. And yeah, you're probably looking at the top left card and thinking, what the fuck I am doing? But yeah, here we are. I'm actually bringing Berserk Dragon. Well, the answer to that question is actually going to be the last card you see at the bottom, and that is our deck master, Tyrant Dragon. Tyrant Dragon is a level 8 dragon monster, so if we get Tyrant Dragon out, then he gets destroyed and we have Deal with Dark Ruler, we can actually get Berserk Dragon out, which is even better. And now granted, Tyrant Dragon himself has his own issues, and yes, it does require actually having the spell card in play in order to make use of this combo, but hey, At this point, we're here to bullshit and meme. We have a 5-3 lead. We can afford to lose it. So, especially given the fact that if we win again, Rai is going to get another chance on the catch-up wheel, and chances are he's going to ban another card. So, if we can make him scared of this enough to make him ban this card, then it's worth it. So let's go through the card by card and explain just how stupid this deck is going to be. So we have the copy of Berserk Dragon. Can't believe I'm actually going to try this, but hey, let's do it. We got a copy of Cyberjar, as usual. Exile Force, again, limited to 1, but we only have 1 anyway. 2 Magical Merchant, mostly to help scour out for our spell and traps. Magician of Faith to retrieve any spells we need back. Old Vindictive Magician, 2 copies in order to deal with a problem monster. 1 copy of Sangan for searching. 1 copy of Sinister Serpent because we're going to be discarding a couple of times throughout anyway. So, might as well make use of it while we can. 1 copy of Tsukiyomi to help reset things like not Cyberjar, but reset Magical Merchant, reset Magician of Faith, reset Old Vindictive. 1 Witch of the Black Forest to search up almost anything in this deck. 2 copies of Archfiends Soldier for a 1900 attacker. 3 copies of Battle Footballer because 2100 defense is good. And honestly, if it comes to it, we really need to play defensively, then Battle Footballer will help protect our ass. 1 copy of Blue Eyes White Dragon because 1, it's also a level 8 monster, so it works with Deal of Dark Ruler, and 2, this will probably end up our deck master at one other point once Tyrant Dragon gets put to pasture. 2 copies of Dark Blade because, hey, 1800 beater is just as good, almost as good as a 1900. For our spells, we have the 1 copy of Deal of Dark Ruler. I could theoretically play more than 1 here, but I figure I don't need to because, well, realistically speaking, Berserk Dragon's a pointless card otherwise, so if something happens, I'd rather not have multiple dead cards here, and our deck can work well enough without the Berserk Dragon pop-off. 1 copy of the newly earned Dark Hole. I know there was an issue with the video last time, but this was actually one of the prizes we won in our wildcard spins. We hit a super rare, and because last set was actually the last chance we had to get wildcards from Legend of Blue Eyes, I decided to take Dark Hole. Specifically because 1, it's a good card, and 2, Rai is probably going to ban Raigeki at some point or other, which at least means Dark Hole will get a chance to work as a backup. 1 copy of Graceful Charity, again, helps cycle through the deck a little bit, and it lets us deal with Sinister Serpent for that purpose, and if it really comes to it and Berserk Dragon becomes completely useless to us, then we could dump it. 1 Heavy Storm to help clear the back row. 1 Monster Reborn to bring back a monster we need something important of. Generally, this is probably going to be used to bring back either probably something like our Blue Eyes, or maybe our Exile Force if we really need to. 1 copy of My Body's a Shield for more general purposes. 1 copy of Pot of Greed, as usual. 1 Raigeki. 2 Rush Recklessly. Yeah, we're still a bit on aggro here, so fuck it. And our 1 copy of Swords, in case we actually have to be defensive. For our traps, 1 Magic Cylinder. We're on 3 Meteor Rain for 2 reasons. And they are basically what we described to begin with. Berserk Dragon and Tyrant Dragon. Berserk Dragon can attack all monsters the opponent controls once each, during each turn. And Tyrant Dragon can attack twice if the opponent has a second monster. Give both of these monsters piercing damage, and basically it's Goodnight Moon. So, 2 Sakuretsu Armor in case Rai actually has the stones to come up and attack us. And 2 copies of Spell Shield Type 8 in case he wants to try some defensive bullshit. Now, for the extra deck, it's the same old, we're not going to touch it. For the side deck, 1 copy of 8-Claw Scorpion. We cut down on this because he's aware of this gimmick now, so we're not going to mess with it as much. 2 Cyber Raider, because this actually deals with equipped spells a little bit, in that if it's summoned, we could either destroy an equipped spell, or target an equipped spell and change it to this card. So, if he has a Maha Viola with an Axe of Despair, for example, drop this on him, Maha Viola's losing all his power, and we can take over it. 2 Gyaku G-Ray Panda, in case he's running some kind of Gravity Bind bullshit. 2 Book of Moon, in case we really need it. Cold Wave, if we really need to push. Second My Body if we really need that extra defensive safety on our monsters. 2 copies of Wave Motion Cannon now in the side. This is actually for one specific card. Final Countdown. If Rai is playing Final Countdown, he's going to be playing a lot of stun and a lot of ways to stop us from taking him out. As such, we're going to want to play Wave Motion Cannon to try to beat him out in those 6 turns before he makes it to 20. Now, because Final Countdown works for each of our turns, that means that our 6 turns have to finish before his 10 do. Also, 2 Bottomless Trapple, again, if he's going more offensive, then that'll help us. Ring of Destruction, same thing, and our 1 copy of Skill Drain for now. We have 3 copies, but Skill Drain's not very useful to us at the moment. So, guys, with that being said, this is what we're going to hope to work with. It's ridiculous, but hey, we've played some dumb shit before and it worked out. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to duel.
Alright, so hopefully the new rules will keep this duel fresh, and our next 3 duels as well. I'm pretty excited.
Oh, I am too. This was something that I've always kind of wanted to see in some way in the game, but I always figured there was just not really a good way to implement it, so it's going to be interesting to see how this works now. And honestly, seeing that they're going to have it in Master Duel, even if it's not the way I'm 100% preferring it, I like the fact that it's actually being shown some kind of care, because I do remember that season was kind of considered bleh for that arc. So, it'll be nice to see the Deckmaster system actually get something for it.
It will. Oh, darn, that's not good for me.
Alright, that's a good start. I think I'll take that free card.
I'm sure you will. Good luck, duelist.
Good luck. And you may have banned him, but Jinzo's haunting you.
Alright, so as a pregame action, I will show you my Deckmaster. My Deckmaster will be Tsukuyomi.
Ooh, Tsukuyomi. Interesting. Alright. And mine is gonna be my Tyrant Dragon.
I actually kind of saw this coming.
Yeah, I kind of had a feeling you'd expect it from the start, but I figure, let me do it now, so that way I can get it out of the way, and then he won't be expecting it every time.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Alright, so draw for turn, standby main. I think I'm just gonna go ahead, set one, and pass.
Alright, draw for turn, standby main. I am going to set a pair, and I will pass my turn.
Alright. Standby main. Ooh, okay. I think I'm going to run out an Archfiend Soldier.
It's a 1900 body.
Alright, let's see what you got.
On attack declaration, I'm going to secret barrel you for 14.
Ew. Alright.
It's a jar.
Of course it is. Alright.
Well, with a Deckmaster like Tsukuyomi, do you think I would play anything but this deck?
Good point. Good point. Alright, so we'll shuffle up. And let's see. Ooh,
that's a good card.
That's a good one. Fuck!
Interesting that you're on that.
Ah, damn it.
Bye, Berserk Dragon. Get it out of here.
Of all the fucking cards. Of all the fucking cards for you to turn around, for me to mill out.
Get that out of there. I don't want to deal with that. That's way too big.
You know what's the funny part? You know what's the big reason why I have him in there? What level is Tyrant Dragon?
Oh, I'm aware.
God damn. Alright, well. Since that cover got blown, I guess I'll just set a couple cards and pass now.
Alright, draw for turn, standby, main. I do have the Feather Duster.
Oh.
Do I get the sacks?
You don't get the sack. but you do get a couple of good cards out of it.
Yeah, those are some good cards. Well, since since I know that's an old Vindictive Magician, let's go ahead and run this out for the value.
Oh, man. Yeah,
I would like value, please.
get your value. Get your great value.
What do I want is the question. Hmm. I've decided. I'm gonna get it. Oh, oh shoot, I can't get that. That's Sangin, sorry. I'll just get Spirit Reaper.
Alright.
Sorry about that. I know how to read cards, I swear.
Sure, Bandit Keith, sure.
I mean, you knew I have Koala in here.
Oh, yeah.
Alright.
I'm sorry. Sure, Chumley, sure.
After combat, I'm gonna set one. Go ahead.
Alright. Draw, standby main. That is not really what I wanted to see, but okay. Let's run out a Dark Blade.
Sure.
You got the sack?
18 in. No sack.
Alright, I will set a card in main 2 and pass the turn.
Draw for turn, standby, main. I will go ahead and set this and say go.
Gee, I wonder where that could be. Well, I'm gonna activate my Heavy Storm.
I will chain Ojama Trio.
I will chain Meteor Rain.
That's pretty good. Okay, so chain resolves. Have your 3 tokens.
Okay, that was weird as hell. 2 of them popped up white and 1 popped up orange for a moment. That was odd.
Alright, well, have your tokens.
Yep. And I will... And you can have that 1,500 damage, I'm assuming.
Kaboom.
Oh! Oh, shit. Okay, so you take 9, but... Okay, we both take 9, actually.
I was really hoping you would normal. I was really hoping you would normal another monster into it. So
Damn.
yeah, you'll take 900 from the Ojama tokens dying.
Wow.
See what we get. Those are cards.
Holy crap. Raigeki.
And you don't have good attackers.
Oh, boy.
So, Gravity Bind, Pot of Greed, and Raigeki Break. Unfortunately, you do have a Spell Shield for the Pot of Greed.
I do.
But do you have another spell besides that Swords of Revealing Light, is the question.
That's the big one. And since we can actually shuffle these around, I'm gonna do this.
Yep.
Alright. I'm gonna set a couple of cards. Could be anything.
Yep.
And I'll pass.
Now the question is, am I okay with trading Pot of Greed for your Swords of Revealing Light? What do I care? I don't even attack. I'll set some cards. Go.
Okay, so you have Raigeki Break, Gravity Bind. You probably set... Okay, so you... No, that was... No, you set Apprentice Magician and Sangan already. Not gonna lie, I kind of wish I had a monster that could take a spell counter just so I could force your apprentice to give it to me.
If you had something like Breaker, that would be pretty sick.
That would actually be a really funny back end on that, but...
That would be. I love Apprentice Magician. This card is so good.
I think I'm going to
Pretty
set...
sure it's semi-limited now.
I don't think it's... yeah, actually I don't think it is just yet. No, it wasn't, because the only things that got limited were Tiv and Breaker.
Breaker, yeah.
Alright,
so Alright.
Set a monster.
Alright. Draw for turn, standby, main. I'm gonna flip summon Old Vindictive and pop your...
Alright.
Pop your set.
That was a merch.
Boy, if you have something like Raigeki Break, this could be really bad. I think I'm gonna go for it. Normal summon Tsukiyomi?
Oh, crud. Okay.
I will set my Old Vindictive Magician.
Alright.
Then I will set a back row. And then I will end my turn and put my Deckmaster in my hand. Is that good?
That's good. Oh, crap. Great, so now you managed to bypass the damage, too. Alright.
Well, no. If I bring Tsukiyomi out later, like, Tsukiyomi is still my Deckmaster.
Oh. Oh, so it's just the first time it goes to the graveyard or banished, then. After being summoned that way.
That's correct.
Okay, I thought once it left
correct.
the field... I thought once it left the field and went into your hand, it was immune. Okay, that's good to know, then.
Nope. No, it's still your Deckmaster. It's just in my hand.
Okay.
And it's from fields. It's from field specifically.
Right. Well, I guess I might as well do this. I'm gonna flip my Magical Merchant.
I am going to chain Geometrio.
Damn. Okay.
There is a very good reason why this card gets limited eventually.
Yeah. Alright.
Okay, Magician of Faith gone, Cyberjar gone,
Oh,
Blue Eyes gone.
God.
Oh, there's your Tsukiyomi. Sack is not that good.
Yeah.
Sack isn't too good against this deck. And then on resolution, I'm going to activate Just Desserts.
Oh, come on! Yeah, fine.
Geometrio, Just Desserts. Good stuff.
Alright, why not? Let's flip the,
Alright.
Let's rip the Band-Aid off now.
Pop the set.
That was my Battle Footballer.
Thought so.
Okay. I can't believe I have to do this, but, well. What am I... Nah, screw it. Let's hit the old Vindictive.
Okay. Okay, battle resolves. Got the rush.
Got the rush.
Yep.
I cannot let Suke keep using that.
Yeah, that's silly. Alright, draw
God.
for turn. Stand by main. I am going to... I'm gonna set a monster and shut the turn.
Alright, so that's turn 1 on swords. That is not what I was hoping to see. Crap. Can we move these over out of the way so I can make a link summon?
Maybe in 2017 when Ojama Trio is no longer playable.
I guess I'll set a card. And then...
So this is the part where I kill your magical merchant, then activate ground collapse.
You know, the funny thing is, I actually mentioned that kind of thing in my preview.
Draw for turn, stand by main. Flip Magician of Faith. I will target the only spell in my graveyard, which is Feather Duster.
Ah, crap. Okay.
Fire it. This will force the spell shield.
Yeah, unfortunately I don't have a spell.
Oh, you don't have it? Oh, sick! I was not expecting to get this far.
Crap.
Normal my Deckmaster set the Faith.
Yeah, go ahead.
I kind of don't mind the I kind of don't mind the merch being on the table either. I'm gonna probably just leave that alone. What's this attacking thing? I will fire Pot of Greed now that you don't have a spell shield up anymore.
Alright. I mean, if you want, you could attack one of my tokens and make me take 300 damage.
Nah, I like him on the field a little bit better.
Damn it.
I will set a back row, end my turn, put my Deckmaster back in my hand.
I really did not see the whole Tsukiyomi thing as the Deckmaster coming. God.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Yes, this is one of the reasons why we had that discussion about this, and we'll talk about it in post game as well.
All right, I'll pass. There's not really much I can do here.
Yeah, this is not very good for you. Draw for turn. Stand by main. I am going to set a monster. And I will pass the turn.
Alright. Stand by. Ooh, that does not really help me a lot, does it? Oh, it does not. Damn it.
At the end of your turn, I will activate Secret Barrel for 1,800.
Ah, God.
Draw for turn. turn, standby main, flip Deskwalla for game.
Yeah, that's, damn, that sucks. Oh, God. This is kicking
And
my
I
ass
think it's
now.
really I think it's really just the presence of Sakuretsu
Yeah, Sakuretsu is definitely making a
that
change
has
here.
that has really enabled these control decks, because we have so many good ways to just stop attacks now. But now things get interesting, because at this point I wouldn't be surprised if there weren't Raigeki breaks in your deck before, they're probably in here now. Just scary.
I'm going to a monster and pass.
Draw for turn, standby main. I am going to set a monster and then set 3 back row. Absolutely not afraid of Heavy Storm. Go ahead.
Alright, I draw.
Did you just top deck it?
Just top decked it. Get fucked,
Okay,
idiot.
I do have a plan for this, though.
Oh my god.
I will activate Just Desserts as Chainlink 2 and Ojama Trio as Chainlink 3.
So I take 2,000. Alright.
And you get my Gravity Bind. I still think that's okay, because it drew out the Heavy Storm, and most of the stuff was chainable.
Oh yeah. But goddamn, that was hilarious, honestly.
That was really funny. The 2,000 damage off, the synergy between Ojama Trio and Just Desserts is so good.
Oh yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna flip my Witch of the Black Forest, and let's see what you've got hiding there.
It's a jar.
Alright. Well,
so you'll only get one.
I only get
one monster, and you won't take any damage. You won't take any damage from the tokens, because the tokens aren't destroyed. They're just sent back to the deck where they cease to exist.
Right. Oh. And I shuffled that too.
I saw that. That's funny.
Alright, so main phase 2, I guess I will and pass.
Draw for turn, standby main, set 1. Go.
Alright, draw. Standby main. Alright, so we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna flip up our Witch, and then we're actually going to have a little fun with this. I'm going to normal summon my Deck Master.
Oh, you're gonna bring out the boy?
I'm bringing out the boy.
You got it.
Alright. Then, at the start of the main battle phase, I'm going to activate Meteor Rain.
That's pretty good. Am I just dead?
Let's see. After its cards. Ooh, that's an interesting wording for that.
You get to double attack. So that's 21.
Well, no, I actually don't get to attack again. But if you had Spirit Reaper out, I could have attacked twice.
Oh yeah.
So
I'm gonna get another Apprentice Magician.
So I'll attack again. This time I'll also add a Rush Recklessly,
Jeez.
So you take 28 this time.
Yeah.
I probably should have done that to begin with, but oh well, that was a derp on my end.
All right. Hang on. What's in my bin again? That's not good. Well, Old Vindictive.
All right. Main phase 2. I will set a card, and I will pass it to you.
Draw for turn. Stand by main. Let's get him out of there. I can have back row removal too.
I hate much.
Bye. Take 4K.
You just had to do that first.
Yep, take your 4K.
Oh,
then I'll do my thing. Put it back down.
Well, you can't crash.
Set one. Nope. No, if I crash, I lose the game. And Tsukiyomi's better off in my hand anyway. But now you've put me in kind of an awkward situation.
Alright, I'm gonna set a monster, and then I guess I'll just go into your monster, into your Vindictive.
I don't really want to give you Witch of the Black Forest trigger. I am going to pop your set.
That's fine, because it's my Sangen.
Oh, of course it's the other. Of course it's the other one.
Let's see, who do I want to get help with? Well, I guess I might as well add it to my hand. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a Gyaku Jirei Panda.
Yep, I figured you would be on this card.
Oh yeah.
I discussed this card specifically specifically because this card was sided and constructed against these types of decks.
Oh yeah. For a damn good reason.
Panda is very good.
And since I set Sangen to begin with, I guess it's your turn.
Stand by main. Set a back row. Pass.
Alright. Ooh. That doesn't mean much good, but whatever. Alright, I will set a card. And punch for 11.
11 in. Alright. Draw for turn. Stand by main. I am going to Ojama Trio.
Oh, hell.
Fill up the rest of your monster zones.
Alright.
Then I'm going to set a back row and pass.
And if it's what I think it is, draw. Alright. No instant secret barrels. Okay.
It's...
Flip my magical merchant.
Yep, merchant gonna merch. No, if it was a secret barrel, I would have... If it was a secret barrel, I would have actually just fired it on the resolution of magical merchant.
Fair.
Oh, that's a good card.
It's a good
That's a
card,
good
but
card.
it doesn't help me here.
It's a good card, but I don't know if you want to activate it right now because that puts you in Secret Barrel range.
I mean, I'm in Secret Barrel range regardless.
You are now, yeah. Let me look at your bin. You've used one. Boy, I really don't want to do this, but I think I have to. I would much prefer to just take the 13, but if you have to rush recklessly, I lose the game.
Fair. Okay, so what do I get to pull up now? God, I see only one way that this kind of helps me out of this, but kind of kills me in the process. I guess I might as well just add this to my hand for now.
Exile Force, yep.
Because... yeah. So, main 2... I will set a card, and I will pass.
Draw for turn, stand by, main. I'm going to set a monster and pass.
Alright.
I know you have Exile Force.
That does not... I don't think that does it. No, that doesn't. Wait. No, it doesn't. Damn it. Wait, no. Ah, that's 100 shy.
This is a close game.
It is. I have one option, but it's not a great one. Then again, it does put you at a much worse situation than I would. But, well, potentially. Alright, fuck it. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. I'm already into trouble as it is.
Yep.
I'm gonna fire off Raigeki.
You got the mask. You got the mask.
I'm glad I did that.
That mask would have been lethal. Yeah, that mask. If you attack that mask, it kills you. Because then I can recur just desserts, and then you just die.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Constructed in this time frame in their control decks. The card is.
Okay, so if this might actually work now, because I think I might have misjudged on this. All right, I'm gonna summon Exile Force. I'm going to flip.
Yep, there's the Exile Force.
I'm gonna flip summon my Magician of Faith.
Flip Magician of Faith.
Add Rush Recklessly to my hand.
Yep.
Attack direct.
On attack declaration.
Fuck.
Nah, you got it.
Oh, thank God.
Now you got it. Now you got it. Really close. But I will take the play.
Alright. So. Let's see. Oh, right. We have to...
Alright.
I need to get used to this.
Card for turn. Standby main. I will set... Oh, right. Right, hang on. Knew I was forgetting something. Anyway.
We're gonna remember to do that, like, as clockwork by the time we're done with it.
Yep. I'm going to fire a Vengeful.
Ah, great.
Let's set one and pass.
Alright. Draw, standby main. I'm going to activate my wave motion cannon.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I kind of wish I had that card.
Alright, I'm back. Alright, so I'm going to set that, and then I'm going to set a monster and pass the turn.
Got it. Draw for turn. Standby main. That wave motion cannon complicates things a lot. Pass.
Alright, draw. Standby. Chugga chugga.
Yep. That's what it does.
Let's see. I guess we can flip the Cyber Jar.
Sure, it's Stangen.
Ugh, okay.
See what we wind up with here. That's a lot of dudes. That's scary. Well, they can't attack, at least. But I do have a Spirit Reaper, a Mask, an Apprentice Magician, and a Magician of Faith, which I think is pretty good.
Alright.
And then I get attack also.
Yep.
Although you having Graceful Charity is pretty scary. You have a lot of guys that can't attack, and that hand is not fun.
Alright. And I guess we'll fire the Graceful now. Might as well.
Sure.
Ooh, okay. I will pitch... I think I'll pitch...
Oh, I have a Sangan effect to resolve, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fine. Go ahead. It's not going to change anything on my Discord anyway.
I'm going to grab a Koala.
Alright. So I will pitch a Moth. And a... Honestly, I'm kind of okay with pitching my... I think I will pitch my Gyakujire Panda.
You already have one. At least it can't attack.
Yeah. Okay.
That cannon's frightening though.
you know what? To hell with it. I'm gonna sack my 2 monsters for the ultimate
Blue Eyes?
Blue Eyes White Dragon. And he will fall into a
Yeah, that's a
bottomless
big
pit.
ball. I do not have the bottomless.
Oh, even better. Okay. So I will set 1 card, and I'll actually set 2. Your turn.
I'm gonna go ahead and probably should have fired this on resolution, but I am gonna just desserts you for 1,000.
All right.
Draw for turn. Stand by. Main. Thinking. Sorry, this is a bit of a difficult decision because of the panda.
So you're gonna flip the mask. So you're gonna retrieve your just desserts then?
Could be anything. I'll set another back row. Then I will also fire a Dark Door. Set an additional monster and pass the turn.
Alright. Draw.
Do you have the Heavy Storm?
I do not have the Heavy Storm. However, I do not really care about said Heavy Storm. Because... oh, well, for one, that's got that. And 2, you...
Boy.
I was gonna say, 2, you kind of forgot that my dragon has a lot of power, and you left your mask in attack mode, so... roar.
I'll just sack it.
Alright, you sacked it. You fool! You've activated a deal with Dark Ruler!
Yeah, that's...
So,
pretty good.
so my Berserk
It can't
Dragon
attack this
is
turn,
out.
though.
That's fine with me.
Yeah, you do have a Berserk Dragon. You have a Berserk Dragon. Can't attack.
Main 2, I will set a card. And I will pass the turn.
Berserk Dragon loses... Berserk Dragon loses 500 points. I'm also going to just desert to end for 15. Draw for turn. Stand by main. Boy, this is a difficult decision. Sorry, I have a couple of diverging lines here. As it turns out, playing control decks is difficult.
Alright.
Not happy with this move, but this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put Mask of Darkness to defense, and then I'm going to set a back row and pass.
Alright. So I draw. Standby, main. So that's another counter. Gonna go into battle. And I'm gonna activate my Meteor Rain.
Of course you had it.
So, let's start by eating the Mask of Darkness.
Sack. Got the my body?
Arf! Oh, man! Damn it! That was gonna be such a badass way to end the match!
To be fair, if you had my body, you just win the game. Because I take about 20,000 damage from that Berserk Dragon.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that was gonna be 2,600 just there. Plus every other monster.
I have to give you props for actually summoning Berserk Dragon in Progression Series, though.
I'm honestly shocked I managed to pull that off. And, damn, I was so close to actually winning with it, too.
The problem I have now is actually the panda.
Yeah, the panda's
like,
kind of a pain.
Actually the bigger issue now.
Well, shit. I guess I'll end my turn.
Draw for turn. Stand by. Main. Okay. Okay, now I gotta go back into the tank. How do I deal with this damn panda? I don't like that I'm doing this with a cannon on the table because that puts me on a huge clock. But this is my only way to actually deal with the panda. I'm gonna Metamorphosis.
Oh, goodness. Wait. Let me ask one question. Does distributing the monster as a cost target that monster?
No.
Damn. Okay.
No, Metamorphosis doesn't target. But yeah, I am gonna make Thousand Eyes Restrict, and I am gonna suck up the panda.
You might have to move one of your monsters to spell first.
Let me move my Mask of Darkness so you can actually give it to me. There. Doing this might not be a good idea. Because even if you do nothing, that wave motion cannon is going to kill me in 5. So what I wanted to do specifically was let you kill one monster with the Berserk Dragon just to free up a zone, and then sack the Berserk Dragon. That way, I could actually have a zone to summon the Sook and start flipping this Restrict up so I could actually start using my monster effects. But unfortunately, you put me in a situation where I couldn't afford to take that amount of damage because of the cannon. Because if you had attacked the Mask of Darkness into the Berserk Dragon, I'd be at 54, and then I'd have 3 fewer turns to actually out the wave motion cannon. Is the problem. Oh, this'll out the restrict. More importantly, it outed the panda, and you've already used a panda. So, like, do you have the third panda is the question. And are you even side decking 3? Never mind. Never mind. You can't take restrict because it wasn't summoned correctly. Well, the problem is now, like, now you have, yeah, now the panda's back online is the problem. It can't attack this turn at least, but this is a problem. Because Pop the cannon now. Sure. That is very bad. But no, that's a wise idea. No kidding. Draw for turn. Stand by main. So I'm going to wind up taking... Yeah, 2,400 from... I'm not dead. I think I have one more turn. I'm going to set a back row and end my turn. During your draw phase, I'm going to Ojama Trio. No, nothing on res. Now, Spirit Reaper has 200 defense. Yeah, I think based on the current board and the fact that I filled your monster zones, I think I'm going to get one more turn no matter what. Okay. Draw for turn. Stand by main. Math. I think I am just short. Because that's... I think I'm just short. Because I can secret barrel for 2,000. I can... I can normal the Sook to set the mask.
Oh, I see what you're
Do I get the secret
thinking.
barrel back, or do I get the sack? No. I think I have to get the sack. Then I'm going to set 2 back row. And pass.
And suit goes back to your
Suit
hand.
goes to hand.
Alright, so draw.
Alright. Wasn't expecting to get this far.
Okay. Well, actually, that kind of fixes my problem. Does it? I'm in standby for a second. I can't use that effect. But
Your wave motion goes up to 2.
let's see. Okay, so yeah, unless you hit... Alright, so unless you end up hitting some crazy-ass thing like Feather Duster, I can actually afford to do this. At the start of main phase 1, I'm gonna fire off my Cold Wave.
Oh, you have Cold Wave? God damn it.
Any response
Did
to
you
this?
just top deck that?
I just top decked it.
Did you just top deck that?
Yep.
Wow. So then that's... math. So that's 28... Okay, so if you attack the mask, I'm not dead.
Right.
Okay, I am
Oh,
under
that's the
Cold
thing.
Wave.
I'm not dead. You're not dead either way this turn because I also can't set off the cannon.
Correct.
Alright. So let's go poking around. Because let's see. You have a Moth, you have a Apprentice, and you have a Unknown card. So let's hit this one. Wait, did I... There we go. Let's hit that one.
You're in battle.
There we go.
It is the Apprentice Magician.
Alright, so you get to summon a monster, but you also take 2,000.
I do. I do. What, if anything, gets me out of this? Is there anything that gets me out of this?
I feel like you would need basically like Old Vindictive plus
I mean, I get
Feather
Old
Duster.
Vindictive. Oh, shoot. This gets set. There we go.
Alright.
Okay.
And I can't... Oh, wait, you can't even activate Feather Duster, right?
Correct. So... I think I'm just dead. Yep, I am under Cold Wave. So I can... So I can flip this Desk Koala to deal you 800. And then I lose.
Now, there is one thing
So I had 2 diverging lines with the... So I had 2 diverging lines with this. When you summoned the... Or rather, when I flipped the Mask of Darkness, I was deciding if I wanted to go for Secret Barrel or for Sack, because Secret Barrel puts you at 2k, and then you have to pluck the Spirit Reaper, specifically, that was set. It was this one. If you pluck that, then I lose on the spot. Because if you attack the Mask of Darkness, then you can't kill me with the Wave Motion Cannon, because I go to 100.
Right.
The line I was actually trying to play for was recoup the Secret Barrel, like activate the Secret Barrel for 2k, and then get you in a position where I could try to draw a Secret Barrel. I also had a Princess of Tsurugi in my hand. I just had no way to actually proc its effect. in time.
Right.
I'm actually beginning to wonder if maybe Ground Collapse is actually worth a slot in this deck. I was seriously considering Ground Collapse, but I wanted to try Dark Door. I think Dark Door is fine. Just not. I think Vengeful is better. I tried a 2-2 split, messing around with it. So the reason why I made Tsukiyomi my deck master is because I only had one.
Ah, okay. See, I did end up pulling 3 of them, which, as a quick note, too, granted, it would have made it reliant on finding a way. Okay, so, we managed to win that match. Again, I know we've had issues, so, once again, check out Rye's perspective to see the full match played out. So, but with that being said, we managed to win, so let's see what we're gonna get. But before we do that, we have to discuss one thing. Since Rye lost 3 in a row, he got to spin the catch-up wheel again, and once again, he hit ban a card. And the card he decided to ban was actually a bit of a surprise to me, but he decided he's going to ban Bottomless Trap Hole. The reason is because he doesn't have any of these while we have 3, and this kind of helps prevent him from going aggro. So, with that being said, unfortunately, Bottomless Trap Hole is officially out of our league, but we at least have other options to work with. But with that said, we're going to spin the wheel for wildcards twice. I am opting not to go for Tournament Pack 4 because I do not necessarily like what is in that pack anymore. So, we're going to give this a couple spins, see what we can hit, and hopefully we can hit, I'm preferring a super rare wildcard, but I can take almost anything here. Oh. Sweet. We actually hit the super on the first one. That's good, because I know exactly what I want to get for that. Unsurprisingly, we are actually going to go with Gearfried the Iron Knight, who happened to be a super rare in Pharaoh's Servant. Now, you're probably questioning, why in the hell are you wanting to take Gearfried? Well, the reason is because, as I had mentioned earlier, if we could get the Butterfly Dagger Elma line combo working, there's a couple of combo decks that we could work with that'll help out here, and we already have 3 pieces of Exodia. If we could get the other 2 later on, then as long as Gearfried and Elma don't get banned outright, we could actually make that into a deck potentially. But we're also going to go ahead and spin our second wheel spin and see what we can hit. Now, at this point, if we can hit another super to get Elma right away, I'll be happy with that. If not, I'll take almost anything else here. No fucking way. No fucking way, dude. Okay. I sure as hell did not expect that. I honestly didn't expect that. But you know what? I know exactly what we're getting now. So yeah, to the surprise of absolutely nobody, we're going to grab Butterfly Dagger Elma here. Because not only is this a super rare in Dark Crisis, but on top of that, this is going to allow us to have the combo easily. Because now we have Royal Magical Library, we have a Gearfried, and we have this. So, this is actually perfect, and I really didn't think we were going to get these that early. But you know what? I'm going to take it. So, with that being said, guys, thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you on the next episode. Have a good night.